Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao, Namaste. Peace to all. And what we're going to go over today is about the unnatural and natural emotion of who you are. Fear and panic. When we look at fear, the definition is something that you feel in a sense is dangerous. Someone or something is dangerous. Now, as the saying goes, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. But truth is, there's nothing to fear at all. When you understand, in a sense, who you are as a person, fear doesn't really play the biggest role. You understand it, and when you're afraid at times, you grow past it by allowing yourself to speak about that fear. Many people will tell you, don't be afraid and this and that, but it's okay to be afraid, because in order to be afraid or even to understand fear in the first place, you have to find a way to get over it in the first place. So growing past that is vitally important in growing who you are as a person and just loving yourself first as a person and growing in your highest version. Let me tell you a story about a young man years ago, very long time ago, decades before even I was born. This was just a simple story, but I did enjoy it. It was a young person who wanted to be the bravest warrior in the world. He got on a ship with a pirate who wanted to be king of the pirates, of course. And he was terrified of everything. He was terrified of what could be in the ocean, from the creatures among him, from other people harming the ship, and everything else in between. But even when he was shaking and terrified, he would speak the words that he was one of the bravest warriors. He was a captain. He had thousands upon thousands of men. And as he grew, he what people thought were lies and how terrified he was eventually became his reality, because he evolved right past it. By looking at the evolution of just evolving yourself and looking into just how that can work for you personally. Taking the time to figure out, what are you afraid of? It could be gaining your success, or it could be something as small as an insect or certain animals or certain things. There's all sorts of phobias as well out there. But when you see it for what it really is, no matter what it is, one way or another, you'll have no reason to be afraid of it, because you'll realize there was nothing to fear in the beginning. Now, truth is, fear is very vitally important, because most of us as children, we're not taught to understand fear to an extent where we can grow past it. We're usually taught, don't do this, don't do that, because of this, because of that. And give or take who we're around, most of the time it's our parents or guardians. We learn from them, monkey see, monkey do, in a sense, or a mirror effect, where we just simply do what they do. If they're afraid of something, we feel afraid of it ourselves. Or we come to some conclusion almost close to what they fear. When, in my experience, when I was younger, I was afraid I would never gain what we would call success in today's world. But when I realized that success wasn't the very important part, when you focused more on yourself and loving yourself and understanding you personally and all your fears, there was a less likely chance that you would worry about the success in the first place, because you would move more towards your highest form of who you are as a person. Hold on just a sec. So that'll benefit you. And on top of that, what I was drinking alone will also benefit in a sense of growing you out of the thought of that illusion. Now, of course, when I say illusion, the panic part is what comes in, which is a, a fuller version of what we would consider as fear. But how to evolve past that, what are you drinking as well? And what are you eating? The foods that we eat also play a key role in how our mind works, and taking care of yourself is beneficial. On top of that, what you're watching and listening to is highly important, because it can either lower or grow the fear within you. In a sense, and when you understand your surroundings, again, observe what's going on around you, and take that time to yourself to just simply meditate as well. You you feel less afraid of things, or you see it for what it really is. You see the illusion of fear for what it is, even though it's one of the main elements in the world. You understand that there's nothing to be afraid of in the first place. And if you knew how amazing you are, and what you are in a sense of a soul, not this body, no matter what happens to you, you can't die, then you would realize that there was nothing to be afraid of in the first place.